this. Like I'm thinking about you with facial acupunctures, like your jam.
Yep.
I've sent so many patients to acupuncture for plantar fasciitis, showing the
Yeah.
complete opposite end of the body and not at all what you're talking about, right? And so how did you gain the confidence to go like, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to go after this target.
Yeah. Well, this is the second practice that I've opened. And so I often think to myself, like, thank God this is not my first rodeo, because the first time around, I did not want to niche down. So I opened a practice in a totally new location. So it was like near my hometown, but starting over. And it was right before COVID. But I knew this time around, I didn't want to take insurance and I really wanted to dial into cosmetic acupuncture. And it still kind of felt like a scary leap. Like I was just going to commit my brand to cosmetic acupuncture. But I also had already been teaching marketing for 6 or 7 years. And I knew from my experience with my first practice and from all the people that I worked with that even when you pick a niche or a niche,
Yeah.
I was just looking at a GIF yesterday. I'm like, is it niche or niche? I'm like, I've been switching back and forth for 11 years. It's a great question.
Yeah.
But even when you niche down, you are still going to get people who do not fall within your niche. Because what we're terrified of is turning away paying patients, right? Everyone's response is, I can't afford to turn anyone away.
Especially a referral, by the way.
Yes.
Like that's where it really hurts is like
Gold.
You're treating a patient and they're like, I love you so much. I want to send in my husband. And it's like.
But you can still take them.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you take them? So I'll give an example. For my practice, it's me and Melody as my associate, and we both do cosmetic acupuncture. And then we have some separate interests, but the brand is pretty unified under cosmetic acupuncture. But I would say, and we're in a rural area, maybe 35% to 40% are actually cosmetic. And the rest are just like pain management, digestion, anxiety, kind of more like the bread and butter for acupuncture. So when you brand to a specific niche, it just helps the people who are looking for that thing identify you so much faster and take action, right? It helps them say like, wow, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This sounds like this person understands all of my problems and my concerns. They have a fix, right? And so they click the book now button or they call your office with questions at a much higher rate than if you just have something generic. But we get referrals for headaches and neck pain and plantar fasciitis all the time. So we don't turn them away. I know there's some like fertility acupuncture practices where maybe they truly only see fertility. They may refer out. But most people, by and large, when they are branding for something specific, are still getting lots of other people from different sources. So I understand it's like almost a theoretical concern. I'm going to scare away paying patients, but I've almost never seen that borne out in reality.
Yeah.
So people should feel good about that.
Imagine a practice where patient engagement is seamless and unified. With TrustDrivenCare, connect with patients across text, email, social media, and Google Business Chat, all on autopilot. Empower your team to step in effortlessly and engage in real time from anywhere. Say goodbye to multiple software and hello to a simplified practice and life. TrustDrivenCare is the all-in-one solution to save time, boost revenue, and build patient loyalty. Book your demo today and watch your schedule start to fill up. Now, back to the show.
And I will say that the other advantage is there are going to be hard days in practice, no matter what you do. But when you're working on the people you really like to, it just is a different feeling on those hard days. You know, I love working with golfers, and I always joke like my perfect client is an over 65-year-old country club golfer that plays at least two rounds a month. If I can get them to 4 rounds a month, even better. They have an unlimited need for care, right? There's no joint in their body that doesn't need to move more. And I'm like, I'm a chiropractor. I help every joint, right? They have the money to pay cash, right? And they have an easy measuring stick. They're like, I hit the ball farther, or I scored well with less pain, or I can play more rounds in a row. It's like perfect. Objectively, you're better, right? There's no arguing. And so they're very appreciative of it. And there's a few other details. Like about 4 o'clock, I turn into a total pumpkin. I'm like useless at work. And so golfers typically will get treated early in the morning versus like basketball players and stuff that are, more towards the afternoon. But one of my patients said that my patient base is male, pale, and stale. It's old rich white guys. Which I was
Very flattering picture.
Yeah, so maybe I should just do that in my marketing, right? It's like we only treat, anyways.
I think the
Maybe
problem will be whether they identify as
exactly. Are you old and broken? They're like, what?
yes,
No.
but wealthy and you like to go to bed early? Let's come
Yeah.
here.
You're like, oh, wait, I'm back in. But anyways, to your point, like we always basically somebody said, we treat golfers and their families. Like, because you're going to get their wives and their husbands and their kids because you're just a trusted provider.
Yep.
But what's also interesting is when you're having those hard days, it was so much easier to talk about the golf game or a recent tournament or something that we all connected on. And I think like that is so lovely when it's a tough case.
Yeah, and I think that having a brand that feels aligned and authentic to you and niching down even a little bit into the people and the symptoms that you really love to treat in your marketing, it draws the right people towards you, right? So I just agree with you. You get fewer people who disagree with your care plan or do they just don't want to follow your directions, or maybe they think like their MD is right and you're wrong, right? You're not going to get those people when your marketing reflects the way that you practice and the things that you love to treat, because people who disagree with you, who don't want to come for 8 treatments, when they run into your marketing and it's like maybe they spend time on your Instagram account and they're like, oh, this person wants me to come 10 times. That sounds awful. They're not going to make an appointment. And then you don't have the frustration of being like, why does this person keep rescheduling last minute or whatever it is that they're doing?
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trust Driven Insights, brought to you by TrustDrivenCare. Imagine a world where all your patient communication is in one place, seamless, effortless, and on autopilot. That's the power of Trust-Driven Care. If you're ready to streamline your practice, check out TrustDrivenCare.com and see what's possible. Trust-Driven Insights. Real conversations. Smarter care. Stronger business.